In order to investigate the nature of dream, the sage has entered into the vital essence, the ojas of another person. It wasn't clear why this was the appropriate course of action to pursue, but I would imagine it's a way of looking objectively, of being outside, so you're not filtering anything through your own limited notions. So he took his own awareness and put it inside the ojas of somebody else to experience things or to see things afresh. But the account that we've been given is that it was very disturbing for him. It was very disturbing indeed. But he found what he was looking for. The sage continued, "While I was within the ojas of that other person, there arose symptoms of the cosmic dissolution. Mountains began to rain from the sky. I saw it while I was sitting within the ojas of the other person. In fact, it was particles of food that were coursing in the channels of his body that created this illusion of mountains being showered from the dark sky, and this darkness was the darkness of his own deep sleep. I also entered into deep sleep. After some time I experienced the dawn of awakening consciousness." So we had some very dramatic stories of cosmic dissolution, of dissolution by fire and wind and water. And these were also reflected in the humours of the person, the humours of phlegm, bile and wind. And now he's fallen into deep sleep. And after some time, consciousness awakes, but not fully. The first stage of awakening from deep sleep is entering into dream. As I was waking up from sleep, I experienced a dream state. Within the same ojas, I saw a mighty ocean, which appeared to be like me. Now I think in order to appreciate this passage, you need to remember what it's like when you first wake up. Especially if you're waking up in a different place from your usual sleeping place, or if you just come to after having fainted. There's a very brief period where you're not sure where you are, or you don't know where you are, and you might not even know who you are. And it's interesting to be aware of this and to see what happens next. So this is the mighty ocean, which appears to be like you. Whatever appeared in that ojas, which was the field of experience, I saw without any distortion or perversion, because my consciousness was non-moving and steady. What happens is our mind starts thrashing out, looking for the answer to where am I and who am I? And our consciousness, which is like a mighty ocean, soon establishes itself in an identity within a locality. Consciousness is spread all around, and in it this world appearance arises. This world appearance issues from the deep sleep state, even as a baby is born of the mother. Normally this deep sleep state is spoken of quite metaphorically, but here I think it's being taken literally, because this is what happens. There's deep sleep, there's nothing, and then there's our identity, and there's our location, the world appearance. And that issues from that dark emptiness of deep sleep, just as a baby is born of the mother. The hunter asked, the hunter and the sage are in dialogue, You say that the world appearance issues from the deep sleep. Pray tell me what one experiences in deep sleep. That's a strange kind of question. What one experiences in deep sleep? The whole thing about deep sleep is there's no experience. There's nobody there. There's nobody home. The sage continued, is born, appears, arises as the world, and such other dualistic expressions are but mere words, utterly meaningless. I shall tell you what is born means. So after having been told is born is utterly meaningless, we're going to be told what it means. The essence of that expression is to come into being, and that being alludes to the eternally existent reality. Even so, the word creation also has the same connotation, and it refers to existence. So we've got coming into being, and we've got existence, and the coming into being alludes to the eternally existent reality. This is Brahman. So Brahman is that reality from which we wake up into a notion of personal identity, an external world. In other words, we wake up into creation, which is really not different from what it arose from. To us who are enlightened, there is no creation, no death or cessation. All is forever unborn and peaceful. Brahman is pure existence. The world is pure existence too. Whom do injunctions and prohibitions affect? In a traditional society, prohibitions and injunctions are extremely strong. The illusory power known as Maya alone is the subject of discussion and argumentation. It is and it is not. Therefore, such disputation is extended by ignorant people to Brahman, or the infinite consciousness. We shouldn't try and understand what is meant by Brahman. It's rather like asking somebody for directions and they point their finger, and then you start asking them about their finger. You have to look at where they're pointing. The point isn't the finger. So Brahman is only a pointer. The word Brahman is a pointer. You have to find out where it's pointing to. In fact, this is true of the whole Yoga Vasistha. If you're trying to make some kind of sense out of it, trying to construct some kind of system, a system of thought or of belief, then you're missing the point. We have to look at where it's pointing.